Zion Williamson, whether you love him, whether you hate him, we all know the Pelicans need him this year. And honestly, one thing that's always going to motivate an athlete is a little bit of ka-ching, a little bit of cheddar. So we're going to talk about what I'm exactly talking about right now in the Pelican Scoop. Y'all know what to do. Cue my music.
This is the Pelican Scoop with Jordan Kitchens, breaking down everything under the sun about your New Orleans Pelicans. Smash that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe to stay on top of your Pels content. Now, running point, here's Jordan.
What is good, YouTube? Welcome back to another edition of the Pelican Scoop. I am your host with the most, Jordan Kitchens, and ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're going to talk about Zion Williamson. Yeah, Zion Williamson. No, this is not the expectation video. We're not even going to do a little bit about that. Actually, you know what? This is kind of like expectations. You know, we are going to talk about Zion's expectations next year because to lead off what I was talking about, my hook in the beginning of the video, this is exactly what I'm talking about. So as you can see from the screenshot on the screen is a tweet from Bobby Marks42 on X, the Everything app. He tweets, the $39.4 million Zion Williamson salary is set to become guaranteed today, July 15th, a couple days ago. The remaining two seasons, the $42 million and $44.9 million remain non-guaranteed unless Williamson reaches the games played criteria for this season and next. Now you're like, Jordan, are we still doing a song and dance about? Unfortunately, my brother, yes, we are. We are still doing this song and dance about Zion. I know. Like I said, trying to sit there and you know, make guarantees about Zion, you know, playing and coming in, doing all the right things, you know, you expect a professional athlete to do. That's like saying Bigfoot is real. That's like saying you went outside and saw a damn chupacabra digging in your trash can. It's just like this didn't happen. That's like saying you went to the bar and you got 5 numbers. Brother, you never do that. That's not your game. What you doing? You want to lie to me about that? Like, we supposed to be partners. What you lying to me about that for? So it's like, yeah, that's like saying, damn, Santa Claus is real. I'm sorry if any kids are watching this. Yeah, Santa is real. Yes, Santa is very real. But Santa, you know what I'm saying? And I know I'm making jokes about it, but at the end of the day, if the Pelicans want to get to where they need to get to this season, in a season where, just call it what it is, Joe Dumars put all the chips right in the middle. Put all the chips right in the middle by trading that pick. Now you got Atlanta Hawks fans sitting there just, oh my God, Derek Queen, you know, yeah, right. Joe Dumars is all in. This team has to make the playoffs. You cannot, by any means necessary, miss out on the playoffs and allow Atlanta to get a lottery pick. Because not even the Pelicans can be bad or whatever, but we didn't see time and time again, i.e. this year with the Spurs and the Mavericks, two teams that were nowhere close to being bottom feeders, nowhere close to even getting top picks in the draft. They was, especially the Mavericks, they damn near made the playoffs, got rewarded with pick number 1 and number 2. So it feels like the lower the odds is, that pick might jump his ass right to the top of the list. So you cannot do that by any means necessary. That would be the worst case scenario. And the engine that's going to drive this car, if this team wants to make the playoffs, to try and make some type of playoff push, it all starts with number 1. It all starts with Uno. It's always going to start with Uno. He's the engine. A lot of people, I get it. Whether you hate him, whether you love him, you're stuck with him. Deal with it. We're stuck with Zion. We're in this toxic relationship with Zion. We have no choice but to deal with this right now. So there's no point to, you know, some people comment, man, get Zion out of here, man, all this. Like, well, bro, at this point, you can't, all right? The franchise had already stuck by him between his little allegations he had. They didn't stuck by him. Joe Dumars, Polo Joe, G.I. Joe, General Joe, Chef Joe R.D. Joe didn't sat there and went to bat for homie in the news. He didn't sat here and say good things about him. Well, you're stuck with Zion. Deal with it. We just got to move forward to where we at right now. So if this team wants to get to where they need to get to, and obviously with his contract, because obviously Zion wants to keep continuing getting over $40 million a year, wants to probably make a little bit more than that. And the only way you're going to do that is by being on the court, bro. You're not going to be sitting here freeloading, missing more games than play. Like that's going out that's how Joe didn't nip that out in the bud. So if he wants to continue getting paid and not take a massive pay cut, because it ain't got to be in New Orleans, but you got to take a massive pay cut somewhere, you're going to have to play this year, brother. And I kind of don't even want to come out and say this, because it's kind of like saying Voldemort or saying something and you get struck by lightning, but you going to have to, Zion might be his most motivated. I know, please, stop. Just don't click off the video. I know I said something extremely crazy. Please, hear me out. Give me a chance. Please, put the gun down. Please. Just hear me out real quick, okay? Yes. Zion saying Zion being motivated, saying Zion's going to do this and do that. That is just, you're going to look foolish every time. Yes. Yes, Zion has his flaws. Yes. But it's undeniable. It's undeniable when he plays for the team, when he actually plays, they are extremely, I can say extremely good, but the ceiling has been raised. Okay, the ceiling is indeed raised, no matter what. And it's sad because it's like, dude, if you just lock in, there's no way you can't be a top 10 player, top 12 player in the NBA. There's no way possible. If Zion's locked in, if he plays over 65 games, I wholeheartedly believe this. Right hand to God, right now, right hand. This is my right hand. I know it might be flipped or whatever. This is my right hand right now. I wholeheartedly believe if Zion Williamson plays over 65 to 70 games next year with the Pelicans, well, this year coming up with the Pelicans, he will be in the MVP discussion. The team has to win. I mean, this ain't a lot because the Pelicans, there's a lot of, people just be dropping like flies and all that. But if, relatively healthy team, Trey's still along on the ride, like they're going to win. I believe he will be, like, I ain't gonna say he's gonna win MVP, but his name will be in the talks. Maybe that top 5 before they drop it to 3. But he will be in them talks, especially if he can drag the Pelicans to the playoffs. I promise you he will be in those talks. And we're in the middle of July, and there's just so many different variables you need to happen. You need to go right. You need a little bit of luck, regardless of the fact you always need some luck. Even the best teams that win the NBA championship and do all this and that, make it far, or even the teams that make a deep finals push like the Pacers, they had a little bit of bad luck at the end, but they had good luck. They ran into a lot of teams that was injured. Like, that's what goes apart about the game. You have to be lucky, and unfortunately, this franchise has zero luck. It's like this franchise, they just walk outside, every black cat just cross in front of them, they just walking underneath ladders, smashing broken mirrors, spilling salt. It's just so much bad luck that this team just generates. They need some type of good luck, a good luck charm. So it's like, it's hard to sit there and be like, yeah, if everything goes right, you still got to do it with Silly Willy. Can Silly Willy activate this? Can Silly Willy keep this can make the ship just move? I feel like the ship just been stuck in the water, but like, and then again, of course, being lucky, not getting injured, other teams, being a little bit unlucky. I hate to say it, but, being a little bit unlucky to help you out. Like, that's just all that goes into play. Always. Always. When the Warriors met the Cavs in 2015, with no Kyrie and Love and just LeBron, like, I can say they didn't deserve it, but they did get lucky. That's luck. Like, you have to have certain breaks go your way if you want to. That's always. It's always a part of the story. It's a part of the lore. So this team's going to have to generate some type of luck finally. That sucks. But if you got number one out there, a healthy, motivated, locked in, I just call it what it is, man. Like, I'll take the Pelicans. I'll take the Pelicans for sure. For sure. Especially if just health. It's hard to sit here and talk about what you want to happen, what you can, like, kind of predict, because you can't predict this at all. You can't. Nobody predicted DeJounte breaking his hand in game 1. Nobody seen that coming. Nobody predicted Zion, one game 2 or 3 last year. It's like, oh yeah, he had like a mystery illness, and then his hamstring tightness, and then like his hamstring just, next thing you know, his hamstring just fall off the bone. Nobody's seen Herb Jones tearing his labrum. Then nobody seen Trey Murphy getting identical, the same exact injury, tearing his labrum. Like, these are things that just happen when you're unlucky. And you can't control that. It's out of your control. But what you can control is showing up to camp in shape, right? Not having your chickens on the media, breaking into your house, fighting and doing all this, showing up with a gun, doing all that, right? Not getting put on these allegations and all this, even though that kind of just happens. It seems like that just happens with famous people nowadays. Like, somebody just pops up at the woodwork, yeah, whatever. I'm not trying to dive in all that, but like, not having that, right? Not skipping workouts and having to get suspended because you late to the team flights and all this and doing all that. All those things are in your control. The things you can control, that's what needs to be the main focus. Those are things in Zion's hands that he has to control. Those are variables that don't need anybody else involved. That is strictly up to number one. Simple as that. Depending on how locked in he is, but when money's on the table, money is a motivation. Regardless, no matter, people be like, oh, I don't really care about the money. They care about the money. Don't believe them. I'd never believe any, because if I'm in a professional athlete's position, yeah, it's about the money, bruh. Yeah, we're talking about millions of dollars. Yeah, it's about the money. So yeah, you should see them a lot bit more motivated, but also at the same time, to wrap this video up before I get about it, like I said, y'all get down in the comments, y'all let me know how y'all feeling, man. Zion, not even about Zion, it's about the Pelicans. We can't do another season of starting off slow. Just can't do it. Just can't do it. The Pelicans need to, they always talk about the turtle. I said the turtle. They always talk about the turtle that raced the hare, the rabbit, or whatever you want to call it, hare, the rabbit, whatever. And the rabbit just jump out the gate. Pelicans need to do that. Yeah, it's a marathon, not a race. With the Pelicans, they need to have some type of room for, like, all right, let's say somebody does get hurt and they can, tank a couple games and their record, and then when he comes back, their record not be too bad. They can't come out and, start off 2-7 or 2-5. Like, they just can't do that this year. Not this year. They have to come out and win immediately. Start off right. Start the season off right. Instead of always trying to play catch up, always trying to be, we're trying to make the play-in push and all that. No, you cannot do that this year. And it all starts with number one. His mentality, how he attacks game one, how he looks coming into camp. All this starts with him. He's the head of the snake, regardless of how you want to. I know, it sucks saying that. It does, but he's the head of the snake, and it all starts with number one. So y'all get down in the comments, man. Let me know how you're feeling, man. I know we're talking about, oh man, Zion. I know it's like year 6 of doing the same bleep every single year. But unfortunately, we're stuck in this toxic relationship, so you got to deal with it. Yeah, you got to deal with me. So y'all get down in the comments, man. Y'all let me know how you're feeling, man. It's been your host of the Mo Jordan Kitchens, and I'm signing out. Peace.